Imagine living in a city where crime rates are soaring and even basic public services are collapsing. Sounds extreme, right? But this isn't a scene from a movie. It's happening right now in parts of the UK. Recent studies show that nearly 1 in 5 UK cities are facing serious decline, from economic meltdowns to rising violence, environmental threats, and even citywide bankruptcies. And if you're living in one of these places, your future could be at serious risk. Could your hometown be next? Today, we're uncovering the 10 UK cities you may need to leave before 2026 if you want a safer, healthier, and more stable life. Some names on this list will surprise you, and others will absolutely shock you. We're diving deep into real government data, news reports, and expert predictions really happening behind the scenes, and why staying in these cities could cost you more than just money. It could cost you your future. Stick around till the end, because the most unexpected city might just be the one you're living in right now. Let's get into it. Number 10, Newport, Wales. At number 10, we have Newport, a city once full of promise, now struggling to hold itself together. Located along the banks of the River Usk, Newport has a rich industrial history, but today many parts of the city tell a very different story. In the past few years, crime rates here have surged by over 15%, according to recent police data. Violent crime, anti-social damage are becoming daily realities for many residents. But crime isn't the only problem. Newport has seen major cuts to public services, a lack of new investment, and decaying infrastructure. Shops are closing, high streets are looking emptier, and young people are moving away in search of better opportunities. The most alarming part? A 2024 community survey showed that over 40% of locals feel unsafe walking in their own neighborhoods after dark. When a city starts losing both its safety and its soul, it becomes more than just an inconvenience. It becomes a serious risk to your quality of life. And let's not forget about the economy. Newport's unemployment rate has quietly risen above the national average, and with fewer job prospects, more families are finding it harder to build a stable future here. So if you're living in Newport or thinking about it, might be time to reconsider. The city's problems aren't just temporary, they are deep-rooted, and experts warn they could get even worse by 2026. Could staying here mean risking your future? Something to seriously think about. Number 9, Birmingham. Coming in at number 9 is a name almost no one expected. Birmingham, the UK's second largest city, and once a proud symbol of industry and innovation. But beneath the surface, Birmingham is facing a financial disaster that could shake the city to its core. In 2023, Birmingham City Council, the largest local authority in Europe, officially declared itself bankrupt. Yes, you heard that right. This financial collapse means brutal cuts to essential services like schools, social care, waste collection, and even emergency response teams. And the effects are already being felt. Public parks are going without maintenance. Potholes and broken streetlights are becoming a common sight. In some areas, residents are reporting weeks-long delays just to get basic services repaired. The scariest part? Experts warn that the city's debt crisis could trigger a mass exodus of businesses, leading to fewer jobs and an even weaker economy. Birmingham was once known as the workshop of the world. Now it risks becoming a city where opportunity shrinks and living standards fall year after year. If you're living in Birmingham or thinking about relocating there, you need to ask yourself, is this the future you want to build your life around? Quick question for you. Is your city showing signs of trouble too? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. And don't forget, hit that subscribe on the real changes happening across the UK. More eye-opening videos are coming soon. Number 8, Sunderland. At number 8, we move to the northeast. Sunderland, a city with a proud past, but a future that's looking more uncertain by the day. Once a booming hub for shipbuilding and coal mining, Sunderland now struggles with the heavy weight of post-industrial decline. According to recent reports, over 30% of Sunderland's neighbourhoods are ranked among the most deprived areas in the entire UK. The economy here has been hit hard. With fewer industries to rely on, unemployment levels remain stubbornly high. And where jobs dry up, hope often follows. Many young people are leaving Sunderland behind, chasing better futures in cities with more opportunities. But that's not the only concern. Mental health issues in Sunderland have risen sharply in the past 5 years, with NHS data showing a notable spike in depression and anxiety, especially among the younger population. When a city's environment starts impacting the mental well-being of its people, it's a serious red flag. Walking through certain parts of Sunderland today, you'll find boarded-up shops, abandoned homes, and a heavy sense of economic fatigue hanging in the air. The truth is, without major investment and real change, Sunderland risks slipping even further behind by 2026. If you're someone looking for growth, opportunity, or simply a better quality of life, staying here could mean staying stuck. Is it really worth the risk? Number 7. Dundee. There's a quiet sadness that settles over Dundee, a city once famous for its jute mills, journalism, and jam. Today, it tells a much different story. Walk its streets and you'll notice it. Beautiful old buildings with peeling paint, bustling areas now eerily calm. That once defined Dundee has thinned out, replaced by a more unsettling atmosphere. Behind this fading surface are hard truths. Dundee holds the tragic title for having the highest drug death rate in Europe. According to the national records of Scotland, the crisis here is deepening, not shrinking. Entire communities are grappling with addiction, poverty, and hopelessness, at a level unseen in most other parts of the UK. Job opportunities are few and far between, despite ongoing efforts to revitalise the waterfront and create a tech hub. For many residents, these changes feel cosmetic, a glossy makeover that doesn't reach the deeper structural problems. Social inequality is growing, not shrinking. Children born today in the poorest parts of Dundee face shorter life expectancies and fewer chances to climb out of hardship than anywhere else in Scotland. By 2026, experts predict that unless drastic interventions happen, Dundee will widen. It's not a city that's failed completely, but it's a city fighting battles that many outsiders never see. And for ordinary people trying to build a future, that fight is getting harder every single year. Number 6. Coventry. Once celebrated as the heart of British manufacturing, Coventry was a city built on resilience. It survived the Blitz, rebuilt itself from the ashes, and even earned the title of UK City of Culture in 2021. But today, Coventry is standing at a crossroads, and not in a good way. The factories that once powered the local economy have mostly disappeared. In their place, a struggling urban sprawl where many areas feel forgotten and left behind. According to recent police statistics, crime rates in Coventry have risen by nearly 20% over the past 3 years, crime and property theft leading the surge. For many residents, what used to feel like a close-knit city now feels tense, uncertain, and unsafe after dark. Public services are straining under pressure. Schools are dealing with funding cuts, healthcare wait times are growing longer, and vital community programs are vanishing from neighbourhoods that need them the most. Even Coventry's proud identity as a manufacturing hub feels fragile, as new industries fail to fully replace the old ones. Many locals speak of Coventry with a heavy mix of pride and frustration. Proud of its history, but frustrated by the slow, painful unravelling happening around them. If current trends continue, experts warn that Coventry could see even sharper economic decline by 2026, locking even more families into cycles of low opportunity and high risk. Sometimes the hardest collapse. It's realizing that it's happening right before your eyes, and no one seems able to stop it. Number 5. Middlesbrough. There's a heavy weight that hangs over Middlesbrough. Not something you can always see, but something you can feel. This once thriving industrial town was built on the dreams of steel and shipbuilding. Today, many of those dreams lie abandoned, just like the factories and empty streets left behind. Middlesbrough now holds some of the highest child poverty rates in the UK, with over 40% of children growing up below the poverty line, according to the latest data from the Child Poverty Action Group. For a generation growing up here, that means starting life already 2 steps behind. The economic struggles run deep. Shuttered shops and aging council estates paint a bleak picture of a town that has seen more than its fair share of broken promises. And with poverty comes other problems. Rising crime, worsening health outcomes, and a growing sense of isolation among the people who stay. Community projects and local heroes fight hard to bring hope back into the city, but the truth is, without major change, Middlesbrough's future looks increasingly uncertain. The emotional toll is just as visible as the physical decay. Ask any long-time resident, and you'll hear stories filled with frustration, sadness, and sometimes resignation. By 2026, if the current trends continue, experts warn that Middlesbrough could fall even further behind, making it one of the most challenging places in Britain to build a secure, healthy life. Not every place can be saved by loyalty alone. Survival means knowing when it's time to move on. Number 4. Hull, Kingston upon Hull. Grey skies often hang heavy over Hull, and somehow they seem to mirror the mood of the city itself. There's no denying Hull's rich history, a proud maritime past, bustling trade routes, and a strong working-class spirit. But today, Hull is fighting battles on more fronts than most cities ever face. One of the biggest threats: climate change. Hull sits on some of the lowest-lying land in the UK, making it one of the country's most vulnerable cities to flooding. The Environment Agency warns that by 2030, significant parts of Hull could be underwater during severe weather events, and the clock is ticking faster than most people realise. But flooding isn't Hull's only worry. Economic hardship remains stubborn. Despite winning the title of UK City of Culture in 2017, many are isolated, disconnected and deprived. Unemployment is high, wages are low, and opportunities are limited, especially for young people trying to start their lives. Transport links are another sore point. Getting in and out of Hull can feel like stepping into a forgotten corner of the country, with poor connectivity limiting both business and personal opportunities. For all its grit and resilience, Hull is a city at risk. Not because its people aren't trying, but because the challenges it faces are bigger than any one community can solve alone. If predictions hold true, Hull could soon become a symbol of how even the strongest cities can be overwhelmed, not by a single disaster, but by 1,000 small cracks that no one bothered to fix in time. Number 3. Blackpool. There's a certain sadness to Blackpool, a place that still clings to memories of its golden age, even as the lights. Once the beating heart of British seaside tourism, Blackpool promised laughter, excitement, and endless summer holidays. But today, beyond the bright facade of the pleasure beach and the famous tower, the reality tells a much harsher story. Blackpool now ranks among the most deprived towns in England, according to government statistics. In some areas, life expectancy is shockingly low, almost a decade shorter than the national average. The tourism economy that once fed the town is crumbling. Seasonal jobs, low wages, and unstable employment have replaced the thriving industries of the past, and where money dries up, deeper problems take root. Substance abuse in Blackpool is among the highest rates in the UK. Public Health England reports that drug and alcohol-related deaths are alarmingly above the national average, leaving entire communities trapped in cycles of addiction and despair. Walk a few streets away from the seafront, and you'll find boarded-up guesthouses, abandoned shops, and a lingering sense of something lost, something that may never return. Efforts have been made to revive the town, to spark new hope, but they often feel like patching holes in a ship that's already sinking. Without radical change, experts warn that by 2026, Blackpool could become not just a struggling town, but a stark reminder of what happens when dreams are left to rot. Sometimes the hardest fall isn't a sudden collapse. It's the slow, heartbreaking unraveling of something that was once so full of life. Number 2. Bradford. There's a toughness to Bradford that you can feel the moment you arrive. But even the toughest cities can only take so much. Once hailed as a booming centre for textiles, Bradford now finds itself facing some of the deepest challenges in the UK. According to the latest data, Bradford has one of the highest in the country. A brutal blow for a city that was once full of opportunity. Poverty runs deep here. Child poverty, homelessness, food insecurity. The numbers are not just statistics. They're realities faced by thousands every single day. Educational outcomes are struggling too. Many of Bradford's schools are underfunded and overcrowded, making it even harder for young people to break free from the cycles of hardship. But poverty isn't the only battle. Violent crime has been steadily climbing, stretching local police resources thin. Community tensions, economic frustration, and political neglect have created an atmosphere that feels at times like a powder keg waiting for a spark. Despite strong community efforts and local pride, Bradford is trapped in a tug-of-war between resilience and reality, and too often, reality is winning. Government funding promises come and go. Change feels just out of reach. And as we approach 2026, forecasts suggest things could get even tougher unless bold structural reforms are made. Bradford's story isn't just about a city in trouble. It's about what happens when hope is worn down, 1 year at a time, by forces too big for any one person or neighbourhood to fight alone. Number 1. Luton. And here we are, number 1. Luton, a town that not long ago was seen as a land of opportunity for new communities, small businesses, and hard-working families. Today it stands at the top of a list no city ever wants to lead. According to recent government reports, Luton now ranks among the worst places in the UK for crime, poverty, and unemployment combined. The problems aren't isolated. They touch almost every part of daily life. Knife crime rate, youth violence is on the rise. Meanwhile, the town struggles with chronic housing shortages, soaring rent prices, and underfunded public services that are simply stretched too thin. The local economy, once boosted by industries like car manufacturing and the airport, is struggling to adapt to new realities. Low wages, unstable jobs, and increasing living costs are pushing more and more residents into hardship. But perhaps the most alarming warning sign is this. Luton has one of the highest rates of people actively wanting to leave. According to a major 2024 survey, nearly half of Luton's residents would move away if given the chance. When the people who built a town no longer believe in its future, its statistics can measure. By 2026, if these trends continue, Luton could face even greater challenges. A widening gap between the reality on the ground and the promises made by those in power. Luton isn't just in trouble, it's flashing red, a final warning for anyone still hoping things will magically get better. Now it's your turn. Which city shocked you the most? Drop a comment below, we read every single one. And if you found this video eye-opening, don't miss our last video. It's packed with even more truths you need to hear. We put countless hours into bringing you real, honest content. So if you believe in what we're doing, please support us with just one click. Hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us.